Hey everyone, and welcome to Hexarchy. This is a turn-based strategy game, similar to Civilization series, but with a nice little twist. First part is that the games are much shorter, and the entire round that I'll be playing will be done during the entire video. The second we'll get into once we've actually started the game. There's a few different game modes. First one that you can see here is Hegemon, which is probably the most interesting. Here you get to pick your faction. You can see I've picked France. We're quite a fair bit away from people in first place, but basically you get to pick your faction, you go through a few different challenges to get points for your faction. It all contributes, so that way as a single player you can still compete versus other players, and therefore nice little game mode. You've also got your daily challenge and weekly challenge. For here, your daily challenge is just a quick one-off game. You basically start on the same map, same faction, same location. Weekly challenge, you have the same faction, but you have multiple daily challenges rolled into one. The idea is just to do this as fast as possible and get as many points as possible. But I think just for this video, we'll just go into a skirmish game, and we can see the factions here. So basically you've got Greece, you have France, you have Russia, Egypt, Rome, England, Aztecs, China, Persia and Arabia. I think for this very first video, however, what we'll do is we'll just go Rome, and as you can see here, every faction has their own cards, and that is the second twist of the game. It's a deck building style. Before that puts you off, you can kind of go into the game and hopefully you'll enjoy the way it goes through. We'll keep all the game settings as medium, normal, keep it all as kind of the default things just now, and then we'll go into the game just now. So here we are at the beginning of the game. What you can do is you can see basically your faction's information in case you've picked random. You can see that I've started with a scout, a settler, started with some technology cards, which we'll go into in just a second. We've got the Rome's main ability, and we've also got the ability here to found your capital city. So on the main screen here, you can see there's a little icon here with a little exclamation mark. This here is a holy site. Essentially, it's quite good to start a city nearby. You can also look at the menu up at the top. You've got your resources, one of the most important elements for a strategy game like this. You've got a culture, which we'll go into once we start. You've got maintenance routes, which basically show your gold cost. Trade routes, again, and you've got your tech tree here. So with this game, essentially you can keep going through and adding on all your technologies. As you research them, this adds more cards to your deck. Having more cards, obviously in a deck building game like this, basically will overload your deck. You'll have too many cards. Thankfully you get the option here, so you could essentially burn this card, and that would make it so you can then never build this card again. It will never pop up as you go through your deck, and makes things a little bit easier and more manageable. So we'll get into doing that a little bit later. I think what we'll want to do is, as I said, we want to start near here because this gives us a few different nice resources. We start with quite a fair bit of food. Or we could also go over here towards where there's iron and gems, which are quite an important luxury. But I think what we will do is we'll go over here, and over here might be our second city when we get the chance to do that. So first thing you can see, this is obviously expanded and gave us more hexes. It will give us more culture per turn, and culture is what you need to expand. It will show us on the next turn exactly what we need to kind of go further out, and hopefully we'll get a nice yearly expansion. One thing we can do just now though is we can go for mining. We can pick the warehouse and then use Rome's special ability here, which makes a random building improvement cost just 1 gold. We have 2 gold, this will allow us to build that, and we can get a little bit more production going. Okay. Now, as I was saying earlier, one thing you can do is you can essentially burn cards. So if I wish to not have fission and remove it from the tech tree, so essentially we would be losing the option for fission huts, astronomy, some of these other areas here, such as your civics, which are things that you can only have one of each type. So here you can have an economic civic, a government civic, a religion civic, but I couldn't have both God King and military dictatorship. You can only have one of each. Greece is an exception. They get the ability to use multiple of these, but we're not in Greece. So one thing I can do is I can just grab the fishing tech, remove that, and burn it for the rest of the game. This will remove the amount of cards that I'll have, and gives me a little bit more production this turn, and a little bit of science, which I think will be a little bit more important. So we'll use animal husbandry here. This will give us the option here for pasture, so we can start to gather some of these resources. So we can see, got cow's icon here, we can start gathering that, which will add it into our area here, which is our storage, which you can carry on from turn to turn. One benefit of this is you can take cards as well. So let's say the firewood, which when we initially burn this would give us two production and one science, so we can carry that into the next turn, which might make it a little bit more useful. Woodworking, I could research that just now, and then we can just pick anything, because we're not going to keep it for the next turn. Our city's slowly growing, got our happiness going as well. Still quite strong. Okay, so from here, I think what we'll do is we'll build a warrior. So we've got some units on the map. This will always lower your total population for your city. We've got a card here to increase the warrior's strength as well. And what we'll do is we'll use a couple of food here, so this way our city will increase in population again for next turn. And we'll start the writing technology just so it's ready for the future as well, because we're going to be getting a whole new set of cards, and from there we can hopefully get something that will be quite useful. Now, as with these games, there is always quite a lot to learn at the very beginning, but hopefully I'm going at a nice enough pace where it's easy enough to see what's happening. We can also, we've got our free food, so some units get your option for either production or another supply. As you can see with our agriculture, again, it needs either hammers or science, and you'll see the same with other buildings in the future as well. So we can see down here we've got mecha, so we'll go down towards them just now with our warrior, force them to be a little bit more defensive, and we'll go for agriculture here. As you can see, wonders as well. Again, you can either use production and gold or production and stone. Stone's not a resource we have. We're currently not getting enough production to actually pay off for the hanging gardens, so as you can see we're only getting 5 per turn, so I don't think it will be very useful for us just now. However, a farm might be quite useful for the next turn, so what we'll do is we'll store that here and we'll get ready for building a farm in the turn after. So our city is still expanding here, which is quite good, and for some reason Mecha have left their city completely undefended, so we'll move there and maybe we'll get very lucky and get a free city. So hopefully they do not destroyers. The scout unfortunately was not able to see. They have a lot more attacking power, so they'll be able to kill my settler in one go, which would be most unfortunate. But what we can do, however, is we can burn this firewood, which is basically just to get us some resources. We can go for masonry, and we can build the pyramids this turn. So, pyramids is a card which allows us to get all the resources and the tiles nearby. So from here, we'd be able to get their luxury, which is salt. We'd be able to get the cows, or we could go down here and we could get the cows and the pigs for more food. I think this turn though, what we'll do is we'll just place it up here. That way it removes the ability for somebody else to get this wonder. It's unfortunate we don't have a city over here where we get a little bit more resources, but unfortunately it is what it is. And we'll add our 2 food, oh no, sorry, what we'll do is we'll add just 1 food onto Rome to build up its population again. And hopefully Mecca doesn't build any units and we can just take that city for free. And hopefully the scout does not destroy our settler, which would be a very bad start to the game. So Russia's also building the pyramids, so the good thing about this being turn-based is that they can also build the same wonder as well. So we've been quite lucky here. Our settler has not been attacked. Unfortunately, our warrior here is not quite in the best of positions. He's up against an axeman, he's got a warrior on the other side, so we'll back off just now. We'll build our other city, which gives us a nice little bit of production, and I think we can still build... Nope, I was going to say I think we can still build our pasture here, but unfortunately that's not an option. So what we'll do is we'll build a scout. Scouts are not capable of capturing cities, so I don't need to worry about them just wandering in and taking that from me. But I will give our scout a little bit more strength, just so when he goes out, he's not at risk of just being attacked instantly. And what we will do from here is we'll research this. One of my favourite cards to go for is paganism, and I will keep this to the side. I will also keep the pasture to the side because I hope that will still only cost 1 gold. Hopefully this scout will move. That's good. So the scout's moved, so hopefully we can now build the pasture there. Fortunately it did not keep its 1 cost, so we'll place that there, we'll get ourselves some food, we'll build up the city's pop, and we'll do a little bit of exploring with the scout. As you can see, you've also got hills, you've got mountains, you've got wood forests. These all add different effects and also make it a little bit harder to move around the map quite so fast. We'll go for paganism here. Fortunately, I would really like to get this statue of Zeus, so I will keep that to the side this turn. And what we will do is we'll add our luxuries onto our cities just to give us a little bit more culture. It also adds on some victory points as well. What it can do. There's a chance that it may not. Okay, and what we'll do is we'll just fortify here. Hopefully they'll attack into us. The way the attacking system works here is you can see the numbers here. Well, they've definitely attacked me because it's lowered. So now my unit's only got 2 strength, when before it had 6. It can heal inside its own territory, which is good. And Mecha's already got quite strong units, which is a bit worrying. Okay, so here, Statue of Zeus, all military units start mobilised. Now, that is an incredible power. Whenever you're building a unit, it takes one turn before it can actually do anything. With that card, that allows me to place the unit and move the unit at the very start of the game. Or at the very start of its turn. So we'll get that placed just now, and I think we'll place it up here, well out of the way. Because one other thing that can be done is you can actually pillage units, or pillage territory, which can stop them from being able to have that. You can destroy the pasture that are built, you can also destroy the wonders. You can also pillage the entire city itself and destroy everything which is nearby, removing their ability, which can be very interesting if they have decided to no longer be building settlers. So if they've burned the settler card, they've no longer got the ability to build a settler. So one option, one risk I've now got, unfortunately, is that Mecha are attacking me, and they do have quite strong units just now, which I do not. So I think what I will need to do is go here just for a little bit of a bonus. Build. In fact, what we will do is we will go here for a draw card, and we'll go through and hopefully get a technology which we can use to get a stronger unit, which we have got. So what we'll do now is we'll build a mine. This will give us iron, which we will need eventually. Unfortunately, we're not getting much luck here. So, I think what I might need to do is, I don't need the mobilise card anymore because we've already built the Statue of Zeus. So hopefully, now we can get our own metal working, and we can get our own swordsman. Normally I would go for the legionnaires just so we can get a little bit more power, but I think just getting equal swordsmen is probably more important just now. So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to place this unit here. One advantage that you can get is you can get what's known as flanking attacks. So if this unit comes forward, he won't be able to attack unless he uses the charge card. I could then attack with my warrior, which will weaken him, and then attack with my swordsman, which will do double damage as well. So I think we'll build this lumber mill here, just to get us a little bit more production in the future. In fact, I think we'll change that idea and we'll go for a farm. So this city can grow a little bit faster. I have enough food so I can grow Rome's population back to what it was, and I'll move my scout somewhere so it's at less risk of just being destroyed. And unfortunately I've then moved it straight to another swordsman. So my scout unfortunately will be about to perish. So in the early game, unlike Civilization, I would say war is much more beneficial. Having that ability to just go out and conquer other cities, you can also claim territory with your military units. So you can stand right next to them and then straight attack. So my swordsman will now do 6 damage there, which is good. Fortunately he will perish, but I think that is a price I am willing to pay to make sure my own swordsman stays a little bit stronger. So you can see 38 damage. I think we will go for another wonder, just to allow us to expand our borders a little bit quicker. I don't think that would... The infrastructure would be a bit strong with wonders, so We've still a little bit of gold, so we can draw a card and hope for something else that we can use. I don't think we can use a pasture anywhere, unfortunately. I don't think we want to really use too much more gold. So any production which you have at the end will get added to our gold pile. So that would give me at least one free card to draw. Fortunately, this is not going very well at the very beginning. I was hoping for a little bit smoother play. So, I think for this turn, we will definitely be getting our Legionnaire out. I think we'll place it over at Antium first of all, and we'll place our Legionnaire. We'll also get a scout out, because it doesn't lower the population, and it gives me a little bit more vision here. And we will move our swordsman back towards our border. I think the best thing for us to do right now is to try and tech up a little. So I think we will go for... Unfortunately, I don't think that's a very useful tech for us. And this will be quite useful. We can make our swordsman unit a little bit stronger again. And we can also give our Legionnaire Berserker so it can attack twice in the same turn. Pretty useful if it goes against some weaker units such as the warriors, or if they've got any kind of scouts on top of the same tile. What we'll do is we'll also build some roads. This will allow us to go between our cities a little bit faster, and also give us a roamer benefit of extra production on these tiles as well. Probably should have went from here and through there, but unfortunately I've made that move already, so it's no longer an option. And because of our benefit, I've been able to move straight away with our wonder. I'll get our Legionnaire moving out, and we'll try and get Damascus next turn. If they have no units here, hopefully we get the charge guard, we can just instantly attack. If they do have a unit there, we'll take this little hut here, which gives us a nice little bonus. Either bonus resources, a bonus settler, a bonus unit. Fortunately, one of them are very much impossible to get this turn. So Mecha's building a settler, so maybe we could take Mecha, be even more beneficial. Egypt and Russia seem to be fighting quite hard just now. Population's going down in Rome, so that's a bit worrying. Might need to build a farm up here. Okay, so we do have the charge card. So what I will do is I will click here for Legionnaire, and we will use charge on our swordsman. I'll go in and take Mecha. We'll build this temple here in Rome, which will be quite good. It'll give us some culture, it'll give us some happiness. And we'll expand Antium just now, and we'll start to get some more technology as well. So catapults are quite good. Having ranged units which do splash can stop people from stockpiling units on one tile. It's very frustrating if you've only got some swordsmen and they've got 3 units just on the same one. You can only attack one at a time unless you've got the Berserker trait, which I have here. And we'll get our scout moving again. I didn't expect him to still be alive just now. and we'll end the turn. So currently you can see here that Russia is in the lead. They have a very large city. One of Russia's benefits is that they can add food to their cities and they can grow quite quickly. Hopefully, however, they're going to try and build a city next to me. I think that'll be a place where I'll build a unit over at Antium and take that city before it gets to build any units. So I think we'll go for a swordsman here. We will capture this city. We'll add some luxuries here to... Well, I was hoping to increase their happiness, but that did not work. So what I can do, however, is we can use the marketplace here. So all of the supplies, unfortunately, are a little bit expensive, but that should still help the city. So it's no longer as unhappy, which gives me a little bit more protection. We'll go for construction now, and I think one thing that we'll want to move into is some slightly better units, so engineering, going in towards gunpowder. So I cannot build gunpowder just now. I do want to use it for the next turn, however, so we'll keep that to the side. We will build one spearman over in Mecca. So we've got a little bit stronger units over here. We'll attack Damascus, which, because of my double attack, can allow me to do so. And we'll keep one firewood just to make it so it's a little bit easier to manage to take the gunpowder technology. And I will force my swordsman over here. This will force them to either build the city or lose their settler. We'll expand Rome, we'll expand Antium, and we'll leave Mecca as it is just now. We'll get Damascus next turn. And once again, we'll get our scout moving. Seems like quite a chokehold here. It'll be a little bit awkward trying to move forward there. And we'll keep the Joer here as well, because this gives us a luxury and gold. And we should have the iron for that as well. And yes, we do have the production, but we'll just add some more gold on for us as well. So as you can see, Smolensk has been built, so that will give me the ability to steal that city for free. Unfortunately, the AI is not the smartest in this difficulty, but they can still pose a little bit of a challenge if you let them fight another one and get a little bit too strong too quickly. So we will attack Smolensk, we will steal Damascus, we will add some food into Damascus so that it's no longer struggling, and we will build a Joer for ourselves at Rome. I don't think we need warrior cards anymore, so I think we will be burning this technology, and we'll be going for gunpowder, and we can afford this command. And if we place this over in Damascus, then we've got quite a strong unit on this front. And we'll get these units moving down. I will expand Damascus again. And Mecca will grow, Rome will grow, Antium is going down just now, but hopefully we'll be able to change that in the next few turns. We'll leave the firewood in our inventory for the next turn. Hopefully that will give us something useful. And I think we will also keep the farm card as well. And we'll move our scout. And I think we'll start to put some pressure down here, and hopefully Arabia will attack, because then they no longer have their defensive bonus, and then we can take the city next turn as well. So as you can see, we're getting closer and closer to the game end conditions of 100 points, or 75 points, and when we take a few more cities this should climb up a little bit more as well. You get points for population, points for hexes, points for wonders, points for holy sites. We're going to be getting a few more hexes over here, and we'll get a few more down here as well in the next few turns, which should hopefully give us the win. We may also get a few other pieces of technology which might be beneficial. So I think what we'll do is we'll give this legionnaire the military engineer trait. So he'll be building roads everywhere he goes. We'll build a farm over here as well, just so that there's a little bit more production for Damascus. And I think we will take a draw and hopefully we can get a couple of cards which might be beneficial for our musketman. I think we'll go for the berserker, so he can attack twice. He should be able to take this city and win, but just in case. And maybe we'll try and draw for a charge. Okay, so I don't see myself needing any more scouts, so we'll burn the scout card, we'll build the warehouse, and we'll go for another couple of draw cards. Okay, so we'll go for jeweler for more production, for more luxuries. And we've got our charge card. So we'll place that on our swordsman since that is our strongest unit. And we'll move this unit over here. So next turn we'll be taking both of Arabia's cities, and that should be them removed from the game. Unfortunately, I don't think we can wipe out Russia before the game ends. But just in case they decide to build some sneaky units on this side, we'll build a swordsman and get our side populations back up as well. And I think this time what we will do is we'll buy some luxuries, get our cities a little bit happier. And I think we'll keep this wonder for next turn as well. Okay. So you can see they're charging, so they might be coming up towards me. Fortunately, I've got a defensive bonus. Okay, that's a little bit more worrying if they've got an extra attack as well. Ah, they're going for Memphis. That makes it a little bit less threatening for myself. Okay, so this turn should hopefully be the game ending turn. We'll take a couple of cities, we'll build a wonder, and that should be me. That's definitely me. And we'll place this wonder here so it affects all of these cities. And I think we'll just see if we can build another wonder, which we can, just so we can have a little bit higher score just at the end. So we'll buy all the luxuries there just to make the cities a bit happier, and we'll end the turn knowing that we're definitely safe and secure with the victory. Just get to see what the rest of the AI are doing just before the end. As you can see, Russia had quite a big empire. It would have taken quite a while to defeat them. Egypt unfortunately has been relegated to the single city status. And Arabia will be fully wiped out for this turn. So Arabia gone, and that's the game done. We get our little score screen here. We get to see first, second, get to see the bot names as well, but not really relevant. And we can see the progress that we're making throughout our profile. And if we want to, we can also see the rest of the map. There was quite a large portion of the map which was inaccessible. I'm not sure if the developers are going to be adding boats into the game in the future. I hope it would be added. It would be a nice little feature, give you a little bit more options as well. But as you can see, Russia had quite a few cities, and so did myself. Essentially, Arabia gone and Egypt relegated to 1. So yeah, that was Hexarchy. Hopefully you enjoyed, and hopefully you'll like to see more of this in the future as well. I've been quite enjoying this game. Thanks, and bye.